Hi everyone, good afternoon. So, a very nice Friday because we are having our expert talk series, and it is for people who are new. It is the expert talk series is a part of the ongoing 10-week Yuktahar project, where each Friday I invite an expert who can give views on their expertise on the subject of what they are experts on. And these are all subjects that are in some way or the other connected to our health or fitness or our wellness. So before I start the series, before I start the expert talk today, let me just remind you that the progress form for the 10 weeks of Yuktahar project is there. The link is there in my bio and also in my story. So people who haven't filled up the project, please go and people who haven't filled up the form for the project, please go and fill out the form so that we can get in touch and the usual process. So before I invite the expert that I have for today, let me just give you a small brief introduction about him. His name is Melvin Crasto, and he is the Chief Athletic Coach with the Central Railways, also with Skechers, and he has been training athletes at the national and international level since many years. In fact, he's been working for the last 25 years. And I personally know him very well. We are close friends and we know each other from the time we worked together on Rashmi Rocket. So when we were working on Rashmi Rocket together, Melvin was the person who was training Tapsi and teaching her the skill on how she can run, how she can replicate the movements of an athlete so that she can really fit in for the role. And therefore I know that he's fantabulous when it comes to his job. In fact, if you there are times when you could even catch both of us at Joggers Park in the Carter Road in Mumbai, where you can see both of us like running together. So it's someone who I really admire for the kind of work that he does. So without any further ado, I'll just call Melvin. You can ask all the questions that you have about running marathons, about how you can run better, and how you can be fitter and stuff. Hello sir, how are you?
Hi, Munmun. Good evening.
Good evening, so nice to have you here.
Same here. Very excited. And congratulations on your Yuktahar, Yuktahar, the belly and brain diet launch.
Yes, yes.
It's doing fantastic. I think it's one of the best seller in Amazon.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Okay, so it's nice to have you as an expert, and this is the ongoing 10 weeks of Yuktahar project, and I just wanted you to join in so that people can know more about running, they can know more about marathons, since you coach so many people, so many athletes, and even layman people and common people. So getting right into the questions, if I can ask you, the first question would be like, January, the beginning of the year, like January, February, these are the months of marathons when, there are so
Right.
many marathons happening all over the country. In fact, globally, of course,
Correct.
the scenario is little different because of the third wave. But this is the
Yeah.
general stuff. And what I also see as a trend, like so many clients who come to me for consultation, most of them want to run a marathon, especially the ones who are, say, in their 30s or 40s. Those are the people who really are looking out to run a marathon. It's something that they really love to do, and they, want to do that. So as a coach, what do
Correct.
you
Correct.
think? Yeah. So as a coach, what do you think is the common mistake people end up doing when they run a marathon?
I would like to say that, the first thing, slow and steady wins the race. You
Yeah.
have to be very patient. If you are a beginner, you have to be, you have to gradually get fitter. In one word, I would like to mention that first thing, whether you're a marathon runner or whether you take any other sports, for example, basketball, tennis, first thing you need to be a athlete.
Hmm.
The first thing you need to be an athlete. If you are an athlete, you can take up any sports. So basically, I'm a track and field coach and athletic coach. So, athletic is the king of the game. Among all the games, athletic is the king of the game. So once you you are a perfect athlete. You can, you can take up any sports, whether it's marathon, whether it's tennis, whether it's, because that is the basic fitness. You learn everything. Athletics is what? There are 24. It's a vast subject. Athletics is a vast subject. There are 24 events in athletics, including cross country, marathon, relay, sprints, middle distance, long distance, throws, and jumps. Even in throws, there are four different throws: hammer throw, then discus throw, javelin
Yeah.
throw, short put.
Yeah.
So, so we teach you, an overall this thing to be fit. If you know how to jump, if you know how to sprint, if you know, you can play, you can take up any sports, because all the sports, you have little bit of running, you have little bit of sprints, you need
So
little bit of strength. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically, you mean to say that the common mistake that you see people doing are that they don't work on their fitness, and even
Correct.
without having worked on their basic fitness, they decide to run a marathon.
Yeah, what happens? They see others. Oh, this person has completed. हाँ, इसने complete किया marathon. Why can I do? And they don't do their basics. They just want to run, and they land up injuries, and then it takes time, and then they get frustrated. Then they, demotivated. Demotivation takes place. They are demotivated. Oh, I'm injured, and that injury takes a long time. Why? You have not done the basic, the
Right.
base of to run a marathon. You need to do some sort of basic fitness first. Once you're fit enough, then we start running, and that running also has to be gradual. People straight away, without practicing and all, they run 5K, 10K, and then
Hmm.
they get injured. Over a period of time, they get injury.
Okay.
So what I suggest is, normally you should train under a qualified coach when you are a beginner. As a marathon, you want to say you have decided, okay, I have never done any kind of sports, and I want to, take part in marathon, or I just want to run at least a 5K. So you should be under a guidance of a good coach, take his advice, and gradually move forward. You can't
Right.
just run at a stretch when you have not done. You can't just run 5K. You have to
Right.
just, jog, then walk, then jog, then walk. See how your fitness. It depends upon person to person. How fit he is, how he can take to the next level.
Hmm.
So,
Right.
you're the judge, you're the best judge for your body. You know your body very well. So, you have to listen to your body and move forward. Listen to your body, move forward. It has to be very gradual.
Right. So the
So,
two take.
yeah,
Hmm. So the two
yeah, tell
takeaways,
me.
the two takeaway that I will say here is that number one, that you have to be slow and steady, be the tortoise, not the hare. And
Correct.
the second is about bina tayyari ke mat khelo. So, you need to prepare yourself. You're planning to do a
Right, right.
5K or whatever K you want to finish, but you got to prepare yourself. And without preparing yourself, you cannot think of simply just jumping into it. So these are
Absolutely,
the
absolutely.
right.
Yeah, there are
So
more other things what I would like to talk, the basic thing. Yeah, people are on the ground and they just start running. No, that is absolutely wrong. You
hmm,
need to do a basic warm up at least for 10-15 minutes. Your body, your muscles has to be ready for that particular activity. So you
right.
need to activate those muscles. People, do not pay attention, or they don't think it is important. लंबा भागना है, 5K भागना है. What is the use of this thing? Warm up, stretches. No, you need to activate those
Yeah.
muscles, which
Yeah.
will help you to run a better marathon, or better
Yeah.
5K or better 10K.
Yeah. So just to add, let me tell everyone that when I
Yeah.
call him and tell him that coach me today, I'm coming to Joggers Park, and you also come and coach me. So he spends at least 30 minutes just warming me up and just giving me the basic drills. So I spend like 30 minutes doing that, and it's only after that 30 minutes I do my first run. So it is that kind of a thing. It's not even warm up, but there's certain drills that we do that, as you said, will help fire up the assisting muscles, the main muscles, and that is how start away with a better run. Because there are many times, like he tells me that the more better you get with your drills and stuff, the effortless your run will become.
And I, as a matter of fact, I have witnessed this in my own personal performance. That the better I became in my warm-ups and my drills, I could see that the run and everything was becoming easier and effortless for me. Okay, the next question here, what I would want to say, like जैसे आपने कहा that there should be a preparation that we need to do before we get into a marathon, or even think of joining up or signing up for a marathon or a race. Then what are the basic points? What are the basic things you feel a person should keep in mind while they're doing this prepping work?
So there are, basically three very important aspects, before
Right,
you take up marathon. You have to give yourself a time. That is, you need to train, okay? Number one, then you require proper recovery. Okay, when you
right,
train, you're tired. Yeah, you need proper recovery. Your sleep pattern should be good. You should, go to bed at around, at least I know in Bombay it's not possible, but you have to by 10:30 you have to wind up everything and go to sleep. At least 7 to 8 hours of sleep is a must when you are preparing for a marathon.
right.
The more you recover, the more better it is for you during the practice time. And
Correct.
the third one is nutrition, which plays a vital role. I won't elaborate on that because you are the expert in this, and you know how important is the diet. The nutrition plays a vital role. I can tell training will be around 40%, 40% of training and 60% of diet. Training,
Right,
yes, it helps, but your diet also plays a very vital role.
right.
My athletes who are in Olympics, they have also represented India in Olympics and all. They are in the India camp, training under foreign coaches and all. They are so particular about their diet. Diet plays a vital role, time to time, morning breakfast. Then in the before the lunch and in between breakfast and lunch, they need to have a fruit or maybe a dry fruit, all like that. So they break their meals into parts.
Right.
So diet also. Without diet, I don't think so. Running a marathon or any other sport. I'm not talking about any other sport would be possible without
Yeah.
proper nutrition.
Yeah. So also to add,
Yeah,
it's just not about like athletes, because the people like who are listening to us are all people like layman people, not people from sports background. At least maximum of the people who are listening to us
yeah,
today. But what I'll also say here is that like a lot of, as I started, like when I started off in the beginning, when I started off the talk, I mentioned to you that a lot of these clients who come to me, these are again not, I'm talking about industrialists, I'm talking about businessmen, people from other backgrounds of life who are not having any sports background. And then when they come to me, they say that, they want to run a marathon. It is really doable, and it is really possible for people of all backgrounds to even maintain a diet. It's not about maintaining diet in the way that people feel everything should be measured and you have to take that much carbs, that much protein. It doesn't have to be that complicated. I have had clients who have just done basic diet, just the way we have been talking in this project, and they have been successful in running marathons. Having said that, I have also had experiences where there are clients who, uh, you know, um were drinking a night before. So because they were people from like a business background, and they had like few Japanese clients coming down, and there was a business meet, and he would like end up drinking in the night, and in the morning he would then wake up to run, because he said that I need to train because there's a marathon coming up. And then he would get all acidic, and then he would throw up, and he would get even cramps and diarrhea and stuff like that. So of course, then I had to intervene, and I had to tell him that you got to make a choice. Either you go ahead with your business drinks, or you train in the morning. You got to make a choice. So
choice, right?
yeah. So it has to be a discipline in some way. You cannot think of just living a life where there are where you are not being mindful of things and simply just going out in the morning and running all out. That is not going to help. So that is one extreme. The other extreme is also where you're thinking, "Arey, ye to sirf athletes log ke bas ki baat hai, we cannot do this. How can we, measure things so much, and how can we take care of our diet so much?" It doesn't have to be of that sorts as well. So just being
Absolutely.
mindful, yeah, just being mindful of basic stuff, basic eating, getting your good homemade food, eating the right way. Again, when it comes to nutrition, like a pre-workout, post-workout, these are important things. And like Sir said, recovery is very important. So sleep is important, and like you said, training is important. So is there any time duration that you recommend that itna der ka to training hona chahiye every day, or in terms of frequency, that number of days of the week, something like that you recommend?
Yeah, yeah. So as far as marathon is complete, now we will talk only about marathon. Track and field, there are different. There are throws,
Yeah, yeah,
events, and all which they do it in the afternoon. The weather suits them in the afternoon.
yeah,
It's not early morning. But marathon, in marathon, what you're it's a endurance sports where you have to run for hours together. So normally training and marathon competition happens early morning. So it is always better you train early morning so you get used to the climate, you get
yeah,
used to the weather. And
right,
you need to, yeah, you need to, bifurcate. It's not only running. Running में ही strength आता है, ऐसा नहीं है. Yeah, running do help. It gives you strength. You makes you an athletic body. But besides running, you need to do other things as well. Like you need weight training. Proper athletic weight training is a must.
hmm,
Then there is strength training. Then there are circuit training. Then there are
yeah,
agility drills. So these all you need to introduce in between. It's not
right,
only running. Okay, you run one day. See, running is a bread and butter of a marathon means a long run is a must. So
yeah,
weekly once you can keep your long run. So basically most of the people are working class.
right,
Okay, so what they can do, Sunday is a off for them.
right,
Sunday, their body is fresh enough. So what they can do, they can select Sunday and do a long run. They won't do any other things. Just do the basic warm up, stretches, and they go for a long run. So you build up mileage.
right,
This is how you
endurance,
build up mileage for, yeah, endurance.
yeah,
You
yeah,
build up endurance for your
yeah,
marathon training. But besides
right,
that, then there are interval training to build up speed. देखो किसको किसको भागना चाहिए, they will run. But no, I
right,
want to improve my timing. I have, I ran this 10K. It took around 60 minutes. But this time I want to run where I want to reduce my timings from 60 minutes. Let me try to come at least 55 minutes. For
hmm,
that, you require other type of training. Besides running, there are speed intervals,
right,
interval training. Yeah. Then there are speed workout, short speed workout, long speed workout. There are
yeah,
acceleration runs. There are a lot of things which a coach will introduce in order to improve your timing. That is on the later part. The first thing the coach, what he'll do, he'll build your basic fitness. Once your basic fitness is done, then you go to the next level. He'll slowly try to make you run, not at a stretch. He will tell you to run for 2 minutes, then he'll give
right,
you a break for 1 minute so that you slowly and steady build up endurance and you don't get
right,
injured. The moment you stretch yourself too much, there are likely chances of getting injuries.
injuries. Yeah, so that comes to the
Yeah,
another, yeah,
yeah,
that comes to the other point where there are a lot of people, again, like, I want to stress this point because a lot of people believe कि मेरे को सिर्फ कार्डियो करना है, and we are not even talking about marathon or such, but cardio में like they would just
correct,
go out and run, which is
correct.
maybe outside, maybe outdoor, or maybe just on the treadmill. But there are people who believe that just doing lots and lots of cardio is the way to be fitter or to lose weight, whether it's on a
No, no, I don't
treadmill.
agree. No, no, Munmun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't agree
yeah.
to this.
Yeah, and the other part is where people believe, a lot of segment of population believe that it's all about strength training. They actually look down upon people who do cardio. But the whole point here that we are trying to make is that just like how a diet has to be wholesome, where there's a balance of proteins and carbs and fats and fiber and everything, in the same way
Exactly, exactly.
your exercise routine also has to be wholesome. You cannot just do only cardio. You cannot also do only strength. Just like diet, and I keep saying variety is key. I can say that variety is key also in an exercise routine. You do a variety of things because then the variety is going to address you. कोई exercise है जो आपको agile बनाएगा, कोई exercise है जो आपको power देगा, कोई exercise है which will work on your strength, some other will work on your endurance, and so on and so forth. Is that right?
Totally, I totally agree with you. 100% what you said. It should not be running means only running.
Yeah.
Athletics is not only running. I told you, athletics are so many, there are so many events. Same
Right.
way like this. Running
Right.
karna, I'm not denying, you don't run. You run. एक दिन running किया, next day do little bit of weight training. Uska next day you do running, then the
Right.
next day you can do CrossFit. You can go for a swim.
Yeah,
You
and
can do
also,
cycling. Yeah.
also a session of yoga that can help you get flexible, stretch,
Absolutely,
improve
absolutely.
your lung function. So many more things are there. So,
Stretches plays a vital role, Munmun. You have good. You told me about the stretches. Stretches plays a vital role. There are so many of marathon runners who cannot even touch their feet to the ground. मतलब इतना flexible poor है, and then they don't do stretches. After the workout, when you do a workout or before the workout, you need to stretch. After the workout, there are different flow stretches. There are different way of stretching.
Yeah.
You need to get your muscles back to your place. People don't, they bhaga, then they go home and their muscles are stiff. Next day, they are unable to do their workout.
Right.
Because they have not done their proper cool down. They have not done their proper stretches.
Right. Right. Stretches, of course, it's a very underrated thing, a very important thing, but it goes underrated. In fact, many coaches I know, they do not stress on stretches. You, of course, do it. I have seen it. I've experienced it firsthand. But a lot of trainers in the gyms also, like especially the ones who are into bodybuilding or who are into, strength, they don't give a lot of importance to stretching the body, which is very important. Even if they will tell ki haan, theek hai, stretch karo, it will be just for a minor 2 minutes or 3 minutes, which of course is not enough.
Not enough, no.
Yeah, so of course that's a very important takeaway. Also important because we want to avoid injuries. हमें कुछ भी exercise इस तरह से नहीं करना है that will end up into an injury, whether it's a shin splint or a sprain or any other thing. Any exercise you do, any activity you take, remember you're doing it to enhance your performance so that even in your day-to-day living, हमारा जो day-to-day activity है, local train पकड़ना है या कुछ भी ऐसा करना है, our day-to-day functional activities get enhanced and not that we'll end up on bed or we'll end up going to a doctor just because we've injured ourselves. And what are the basic points you think that we should keep in mind to avoid injury? Of course, like you mentioned, first is like being slow and steady. If you be slow and steady, you avoid injury. Warming up well, cooling down well, these are again paths to avoid injury. Training well, training slow and gradual. Is there anything else that you would want to add?
Yeah, I suggest everyone do the foot gymnastics. The foot gymnastics is, you have done, Munmun. Landing on the ball of your foot and taking small steps, 5 steps forward, 5 steps behind, 5 steps sideways. What happens, while running, our entire body weight is on your ankles, on your shins, on your lower part of your body. But there are few exercises to strengthen these parts. So foot gymnastics with different variation, taking your foot inward, taking your foot outward, taking 5 steps forward, 5 steps behind, sideways, like a form of a cross. So you need to do this every day before you start your warm-up. This is called as foot gymnastics. I especially stress whether it is an athlete or whether they are marathon runners, the first thing what I do is, make them do the foot gymnastics.
Yeah.
Taking
Even
small steps. Yeah,
even I do it whenever I am like training with you. You ensure that I do that when I'm not even like preparing for any marathon. So just for a basic fitness also, it's something that you always tell me to do. Whether it's starting off with foot gymnastics and then warming up, doing the drills, doing the stretches, and only then we go actually on the track and
to the main workout. Yeah, to the track and field workout. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happens, whether you run, whether you walk, your entire body weight is on your ankle. You jump, your weight is on your ankle, the entire weight. This has to be strong. So most of the coaches, they neglect that part. So we
Right.
need to strengthen that part so that you don't get, see, if you strengthen that part, you will never get shin splints. Most of the marathon runners, they start and after a week, they tell that their shins are hurting. We cannot, continue
Right.
running. That is
Right.
because their lower portion, their ankle, their Achilles tendon, they are weak. So
Right.
you need to strengthen them on a daily basis.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, yeah.
one important question from somebody. She has sent a question, Dikshit Poonam 17. She has sent this question: how should I breathe while running? I think it's an interesting question.
Yeah. So, when you're talking to me or you're
Yeah.
talking to anyone else, there is a conversation. Do you think about breathing? Automatic होता है ना
Right.
automatic.
Right.
Automatic when you jog also, you proper, whatever oxygen comes in, you take in, breathe out. Normal breathing, no holding your breath. Some of them I see when they're doing their speed workout, they're closing their mouth and when they
Hmm.
are running. No, that's a wrong thing. Natural breathing, let the oxygen come in.
Yeah.
So it should be natural. Natural breathing. No holding the breath. मुंह से नहीं श्वास लेना है. All wrong. ले लो. When you're tired, but natural or working muscles require oxygen, आप ले लेंगे. Take it through mouth. Take it through your
Yeah.
nose.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
natural breathing.
Yeah.
Bolo.
Also, I remember once when we were at Joggers Park, I remember there was a guy who was running ahead of me, and he was carrying this sipper bottle, I think, on his waist or on his shoulder, or and then you mentioned that how it's a wrong mechanics, a body mechanics, because eventually
Mechanics.
what
Yeah.
yeah, so eventually what will happen is that he will just learn how to like be on one side of the body. So basically
Correct.
you had mentioned why we should not be carrying a sipper, you know.
In your hand. Okay. If there is a
Yeah,
belt or
yeah,
that there you can, it's okay. But some of them heavy bottles, they are running. So the hand movement, one hand is moving, one hand is stationary.
right,
Then you
right,
have the habit. Then you get a habit whenever there is no bottle also, there is no movement from this hand. So that aerodynamic, when
right,
you do a long, it affects
right,
for a marathon runner, when you do a long run, when you
right,
run a marathon, it is continue running. Then you get tired very fast because your body mechanics, your running
right,
action is hampered. There is
right.
no aerodynamic in your run, and automatically then the fatigue starts taking place quickly. अगर आधा घंटे के बाद फटीक आना है, because of this 15 मिनट में आपको फटीक आ जाएगा. You
Right. So
understand?
the
Yeah.
takeaway is कि हाथ में ऐसा बॉटल पकड़ के मत भागो. Put it
But
on your
भागो.
waist में कोई waist pouch or anything like that. Or if that is
Right.
not possible, keep it anywhere on the racetrack itself. Just on the racetrack so that in a certain position जहाँ पे suppose आपने halfway खत्म किया, you take a sip and then you continue the other half. Something like that, but don't carry it in your hand and keep running so that as he explained, it's the entire mechanics going wrong out there. So okay, now we have another question. This is by Bhavna Kulkarni 1, and she's asking how should be workout structure, like strength training, HIIT, cardio, how it should be combined. So basically she's asking how should we combine the strength, HIIT, cardio in a workout routine? How do you combine them? That is
You
what
have to
she's trying to
segregate,
ask.
yeah, you have to segregate days for that. Suppose you do a
Yeah,
long run. When you do a long run, you can't do a strength training or any other workout. You specifically, that is meant for a long run to develop your endurance. Maybe the next day maybe most of the in Bombay, most of them, they take rest on Mondays because Sunday is a holiday. They go for a long run. When they do a long run, their body is fatigued, so they require. So Monday is a off for them. So Tuesday you can select a day. Like Tuesday you can do a speed workout, interval training. But the next day again you don't do a interval training. The next day again you can go for a easy run. Okay, 30 meters run. 30 minutes run. Then you can do some strides. Okay. The next day again you can do a Tabata workout, or you can do a strength
yeah,
training. You can say you can go to a gym and you can do a weight training session, but not very heavy weights. People I see marathon trainers, and there are gym trainers who they just do upper body. आज upper body करेगा तो heavy upper body, which is not
right,
required for a marathon runner. We don't
right,
want to develop muscles and अपने को body building का competition में उतरना है, do very light weights with quick repetition so that your strength is intact. Okay.
Right.
And combine that with upper body and lower body. For example, you do a upper body, a bench press is upper body. Then do the leg curls for your hamstrings. One
Right.
upper, one lower, one upper, one lower, and not heavy weights, light weight with quick repetition. This is the
Right.
best technique to improve and to improve your marathon training.
Right. So what I'll also add for Bhavna here, because Bhavna is basically also asking how she can combine strength, HIIT, and cardio. So if you are not basically only asking in reference for the marathon or running, when you mean cardio as any cardio, which can be any cardio in the gym, what I'll say is that whenever you make a structure, of course, like you said, you cannot do everything in one day. So you make a routine. In fact, one of this routine is there in chapter 8 in my book, Yukta Heart, the Belly and Brain Diet, where you can see how you can segregate these on separate days. But what is essentially required is that आप Monday से Sunday का अपना routine बनाओ where you assign one day to each workout. And the only thing you need to ensure is that 2 strength training workouts should not come on consecutive days. So you don't do a
Correct.
Monday strength
Absolutely.
you don't do a Monday strength and a Tuesday strength again, because you need a good recovery period. Once you have done a strength session, you need a good recovery time. So you don't do strength on 2 consecutive days. But what you can do is that if suppose you do a Monday strength, you can do a Tuesday cardio, and then you can do a Wednesday strength again. And after strength day, like suppose you do Monday strength, you do Wednesday strength, then on Thursday you can again choose either a cardio or a yoga. Even a yoga works fine for the next day after strength training. HIIT can be again there between any 2 cardio sessions. It can be when you are really recovered well, because HIIT is again a very high intensity exercise. So you should do it on a day when you feel that the previous day ka workout is not like doing a very tough carryover. If suppose मैंने Monday को already बहुत solid strength कर लिया है, Tuesday को I might not feel good enough to do HIIT. So I would want to see that the previous day, if suppose I'm choosing to do an HIIT on Tuesday, I should ensure that my Monday workout is relatively at a moderate intensity and not a very high intensity, because we don't want to do 2 high intensity workouts on consecutive days.
Consecutive days, absolutely. These are the reasons why one gets injured.
Yeah, these are the reasons, and then we feel that this is not for us, and we feel that we are not quite at it. But if you just plan it a little sensibly, you will be able to combine a lot of these variety of exercises. There is one question by somebody who's written that I have been running 4 kilometers 5 times a week. How do I increase it to 10 to 15 kilometers? I do weight training and functional training as well after my run.
So what you need to do is, first we need to know his, how old is he? How old is he? Any idea? No.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
I think this Sonu Ghiwala has asked this question. So if Sonu Ghiwala is still there and listening to us, maybe he can type us, let us know his age. But
yeah. So he has to increase his weekly mileage. For example, now you're telling us that you can run between 4 kilometers to 5 kilometers, and he runs 5 times a week. Then he needs to, every week, at least 10% he should increase his mileage. A little. So gradually he has to increase his mileage, and then he can, sustain to, 8 kilometers, 9. But besides that, he has to also do his strength training. He also has to do his...
He's written that he does his weight training and functional training as well.
Training, yeah. But that has to not be back-to-back running. Like he's running today, he's running tomorrow, he's running day after, he's running. No. You run one day, then the next day you take up strength training, or you take up, what do you call that? Functional training, or you go for a cycling, or you go for swimming. Next day, again, you do a little bit of running. Running should not be, consecutive, every day, run. So you need to, balance.
Yeah, what he's also said that he's doing weight training and functional training after the run, which I think is again wrong, because
Wrong. Yeah,
you're running and then you're strength training. So this is
that
not
doesn't
the
work.
way. Yeah, you
Yeah,
need to
correct.
separate them. So have a run day alag and have a strength training day alag.
Correct.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. He's 32 years old. He has just written. He's 32
32
years
is
old.
mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this was a great discussion, and thank you for joining me, and thank you all of you people for joining us, hearing us out, and it was lovely to have a
I would
chat.
like to, yeah, Munmun, I would like to,
Yeah,
tell, yeah, I forgot about in terms of marathon training, I request everyone to do their running drills every day,
right,
which will help you a lot to
right,
improve your gait. And automatically, you will see your improvement in your running as well as you'll cut down your timings also. You have in your mind, this year I need to, run in below 60 minutes. Definitely you will achieve doing your running drills. Please include running drills as a part of your warm up. Running drills, simple running drills like high knees, back kick, bounding, at least 7 of these drills, if you do it every day as a part of your warm up, and you see the difference in around 3 months. In 3 months, you'll find a remarkable change in your body structure. Your running mechanics will automatically improve. But as I told you, under a guidance of a coach, because you alone doing it, nobody can correct you whether you're doing it right, whether your legs are
right,
lifting, you're landing properly or no. So these are things. And one thing about landing, I would like to, stress more. People, some of them, they overstride and land on their heel, which is very wrong. Most of the runners,
hmm,
marathon runners who are into, marathon running, what they do is, they overstride and land on the heel. So over a
right,
period of time, again, what will happen is the injury. Injury will take place, and you'll have, you'll waste your time, treating that injury, and it is not a good sign. So what I
right,
advise everyone to land properly, land on the ball of your foot, and your heel will definitely touch the ground, but at a later stage.
right,
But if you
right,
overstride, what happens? Automatically you land on your heel, which will cause
right,
injury.
right.
So you should, take all these points. You should
Yeah,
remember to,
yeah,
to do
yeah,
these
yeah.
drills regularly so that you improve your runs.
Yeah, so basically, guys, it's all about being the hare, being the tortoise in the race and not being the hare. Be very slow, be gradual, know the form, have your diet right. Water is very important, hydration is
Yeah,
very
water
important.
hydration is very important.
There are a lot of players I know, a lot of these marathon runners I know. They come, they don't drink water enough because, of course, they are not real life athletes. So they get into their jobs after they finish the morning training. They go to the office, they start working, and they forget all about the water, hydration. And then what happens is that next day, when they go and try to do a run, they get these cramps. So water is very essential. I have been talking about water all the time in the 10 weeks project. So again, for people who are serious, marathon runners or just runners or just people who are keen to work out well, even people who strength train need to drink a lot of water because your muscles actually, they store a lot of water, and it is important
Correct.
that, you drink a lot of water. So hydration is very important.
The cramps, especially why it takes place, people getting cramps during running marathon, lack of hydration.
Yeah, lack, it's just,
Yeah,
yeah, lack of dehydration leading to that.
dehydration.
Yeah, sleep well, recover well, do not overdo your exercises, don't try to do everything in one day. Rome was not built in a day, so take one day at a time, and dheere gradually, increase your duration, the intensity, or even the frequency of your workouts. So on that note, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Melvin sir. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having here.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.